Okay, this is a movie I have a history with. Three fucking hundred. This to me has always been the cool movie. I watched this when I was going into seventh grade. It was over the summer I watched this, and up until then I just heard of the meme. This is Sparta. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. It's by now an infamously quoted line from this film, where the messenger says, "This is madness," and then he kicks him into a pit and he says, "This is Sparta." So and also Mark Kermode, who's a fantastic English film critic, went over this film. When I first saw it, I liked it. I said this is a very visceral, fun, action-packed movie. It hits you with it. It's awesome. It's cool. I mean, look at the title, 300. Also, this is a DVD. It's not a Blu-ray. I've always had this exact copy with me throughout my childhood. I bought this at Rite Aid actually. Like it was for $6, and I've had this since 2013. So about 7 years now. Anyway, Mark Kermode was reviewing Justice League, and he said, "When I see a Zack Snyder film, everything just with the costumes and beefing these guys out and having them in the golden underwear and the capes." And that's very true. This movie is just very visual. And also, I watched it twice. I watched it once with my grandpa, and then I watched it again with my friend Colin about 3 years later, exactly 3 years later, in 2016, for a class project. I wanted to watch Braveheart, but some chick named Grace picked that before we could, and she ended up doing the great Braveheart project. I wish I had Braveheart because it's a better movie, but 300 is also a lot of fun. And I watched it on a laptop. I was gonna watch it on my friend's big projector. He has a huge projector in the basement, but it wasn't working when we watched it the second time. I did watch it in the Hamptons though. Took it out with me, watched it there instead of Watchmen, and it's just a fun movie. So, what is it about 300 that's like what makes it good? It's all visual. It feels fake at times. It feels like they kind of built this fictional like video game battle. That's how I felt about Sucker Punch. Anything with Zack Snyder feels kind of like fake. Everything with him is fake and stylish, but this at least has real style to it. At least you feel when they throw their hammers down. There's like this big swoop of slow motion. And you see the iron kind of like come into the center of the frame. There's a weight to this film. It's not like a dud that just kind of drops on you. He really puts passion into these tropes of the movie, like the guns and the weapons and the costumes. Even though they're all so glittery and out there to make you excited about the film, it still is a glitzy, well-oiled movie that moves along quite well. This is the widescreen edition. It's funny. This movie has like sex in it. I remember looking it up when I was a kid. I was a kid when I saw this, and I didn't know there was gonna be sex. I just remember looking at the scene, and it's like where they had some woman like kind of dancing on a table, and that shook me. I was like, oh my god, there's nudity in this. Anyway, gave a copy to my teacher. I gave this movie to my teacher to borrow and watch. She brought it to me in seventh grade. And she gave me cookies, and she said, "Thank you so much for thinking of me. I really enjoyed the movie. Um, I hope all's going well." Anyway, she gave me two cookies with this. And this was also around the time I saw Lord of the Rings. Just a memory to show you how long ago I watched this. And I lent this to my teacher, which is so weird to me. I lent this film to my teacher, and she brought it back to me. And I just thought it was a fun movie. I have a lot of memories with it. Not all movies have to be tedious, kind of character driven films. Sometimes they could just be a fun romp with action or sci-fi, and that's good with me. I like that, and that's what 300 is. It's just a fun romp with all these action effects, all these practical effects that Snyder's trying out, and it looks good. And it may be a little wonky at times and a little fast-paced and zippy, but I think it works for the most part. And it's a really good, fun time at the movies.